All right, what is up? It's your friend Austin from Houston. I'm here with my buddy Alberto Median. How are you doing, Albert?
I'm doing well on a Monday, feeling good, ready to get started. Jump into this. I like Scott. I've met him a couple times. Looking forward to meeting him a lot better now.
Yes. Scott, thanks for joining us here
Uh,
on the REI 101. This is our YouTube channel, podcast. We're Facebook Live, maybe Twitch, maybe. Is anybody doing Twitch in the room?
Whoa,
Or am I the only
whoa.
one messing with that stuff? I guess I'm alone. So I love the content that we're hitting this month, working with contractors, because I can tell you from first and second hand experience that this being in business with the right contractor can make or break your business. And so we've seen some opportunities when it comes to investors and contractors, and not just investors, but everybody needs a contractor sometimes, not just investors, but everybody that has a house to sell or to buy or, lives in an apartment and wants to hide some damage from their landlord. You need a contractor. That's important to have. So we're gonna bring Scott on. Scott, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us why you are a contractor, why you do the things that you do, and we'll go into a deep dive here in just a minute.
Hello, everybody. I don't know how many are there, but my name is Scott. I am a handyman. I love it. I probably do it because of childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma. What
Just
happened?
kidding.
How are we gonna get
This
into?
She broke my heart, right? No, I just love to fix. I love helping people and translate that to real world people need real world help. And it's funny. Most of it's easy. It's just simple. Just a lot of people don't have that first step of information. I've got that. It's just like I'm willing to go and help you out, man. I
I
love it.
disagree with
Love
you
it.
100%. What you do is not easy at all. Nobody should do it on their own unless they're a
Yeah.
professional. Otherwise, hire a professional.
I was being humble, Austin. I
Okay,
was being
yeah,
humble.
you make it look easy. Okay, Albert, how are you today? How's your week going this week?
Oh man, week so far, last 6 hours have been good. Yeah, it's a typical Monday. Mondays are meant for workout, accounting stuff, and then this call. We're going to go meet an agent at 2:30 today to take a look at those new construction properties that we're selling in South Union. We had an open house at our Studewood Heights property that has not sold yet, so we're still just crossing our fingers and praying that that gets sold pretty soon. And really just rocking and rolling, man. Just I'm looking at leads coming across my desk. Got a nice week scheduled ahead with some family time on Friday, so just really looking
Yeah.
forward to that. So
Heck yeah.
Awesome. I just got a lead today on a series of cabins that uh, the owner owns the land. He's building cabins on an RV park. He needs $20,000 per cabin. He's willing to pay decent interest on that while he builds the cabins. He's going to get the cabins rented out, and then he plans on paying off. So if anybody's interested in lending on a deal like that, we have some opportunities like that. So
no, we're looking for lenders too. I mean, if we're throwing our pitch out there,
go
we're
ahead,
looking for
Al.
lenders too on our new construction project in the Eastwood Edo area in Houston. We're working to build three single family homes, and then also we have a duplex a lot over in Sunnyside. So we're always open to new investors. I know Austin, you've partnered with us too on several projects as well. And but yeah,
More
we're
to come too.
more investors too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to be investing on those deals. It's quiet money. It's easy for my side, and I mean, it's a win-win for everybody, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Well, Scott, we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the investor mindset. So as for somebody who is investing in real estate, we're going to buy a house. We're going to flip it, or we're going to buy a house. We're going to hold it, or it could be a commercial property. Um, we're hiring you as the project manager. So, uh, what is the difference first? Because I want to kind of get into. I think a lot of people believe if I go and hire my own electrician, my own plumber, and my own concrete guy, and I have 10 different guys, There's pros and cons to that, right? So where is your perspective as far as, are you general contractor? Are you a specialist? What do you do? What do you don't do, Scott?
So the longer you're in it, the more you understand what you don't do. So I am a carpenter, a plumber, and electrician. I am not a finish carpenter, and I'm not a remodeler. I have done a lot of remodeling, but I don't do it anymore because it's insane. I'm just not built that way. I love the 1 hour jobs, the 2 hour jobs, in and out, seven of them a day, max value. That's my thing. Now, I have an engineering's brain, which means I like to know how things are working, and then I can take the radio apart and clean it and put it back together. And I just love that feeling at the end when it's like clean and it works and it's going to be doing forever. Um, Man, a lot of jobs are just dirty and they just
Hmm.
want you to do one little thing. And I'm like, dude, I'll get you in on a good price and I'm probably going to do a lot of extra stuff for you. But I love the fixing portion. It's just in my brain. I love to help you. And the worst parts of that are when people don't communicate what they want. And that's just like, that's a whole job. It's 50% of the job. Just tell me what you want. I'm into it. I'll help
Hmm.
you however you want. So I usually for me it's giving options. I'll give you three options: expensive, medium, and super cheap. And usually when people go for the cheap, I'm like, it's just a cheap client. It's fine. It's just that's part of the game, man.
So
Part of the game.
why do you think that is though? Why do you think people are vague when it comes to, do you think it's because a lot of people don't know what they need or know what they want, or
Well, imagine the average American's vocabulary, and then go from there. We don't all know what we want to do. We don't know all what we want to say. I just want to fix it. Just fix it. I don't have the
Mhm.
language to tell you how to fix it. Like Austin, I don't know how to sell a house. I sure you know how, but I don't have the language to ask what's an REI or what's the whatever. Blah, blah. See, I don't even know how to make it up right now to talk about it in a joke. But you just have to. I'm not going to say low IQ, high IQ kind of thing, but a
Mhm.
higher IQ person has a better verbiage and understands plans and follow through plans. And those people typically know exactly what they want. Don't touch this, fix this. You can do that. Don't worry about that. Low
Yeah,
IQ, no offense, is I don't really know what to say and I don't have a lot of just do it, man.
Right.
Do it.
I think too, like a lot of investors, they're a little, there's a bunch of newbies out there in the
Yep.
market,
Oh, absolutely.
and then they kind of tend to like walk a project with a or walk a property with a contractor or handyman. It's just and they just start pointing at things, right? What about that? What about that? What about that? Right? And they depend on this person to kind of not only understand what they're trying to say, but then also educate them like in the process. And some contractors, handyman, subs, they are willing to do that, right? They'll give you a little bit of information there. Sometimes though, they may not necessarily understand completely what you want, right? And we're going to kind of talk about that too, is like some of the things that are important with
Hmm.
communicating, what you want. But I think that's Scott hit it on the head. Is just they don't know how to articulate exactly what they might have a vision, right? Okay, I want it to kind of look like this, and we actually share pictures and images and things like that with contractors as well. But I think that's kind of part of the reason too, is they just don't know how to articulate it, which is exactly what Scott said. It's just being able to articulate it.
I
Dude,
also
I'll probably
think,
blow your oh, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
I said, I'm gonna probably blow your mind, but all anger in the entire world in every instance is derived from poor or lack of communication
Hmm.
or set goals, set expectations.
Hmm.
All right.
All anger is derived from expectations. If I expect it to fail, when it fails, not a big deal. If I don't think it will fail and it does fail, I'm gonna feel kind of devastated.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. Just set them. I ask a million questions. Million
Also, in
questions.
as an investor, I think a lot of times, Scott, we don't know where the problems are. We're not expecting problems. But in every project, there's going to be some unexpected surprise. There's going to be something um, that a lot of property owners, investors, they're not expecting. What are some common surprises that investors fail to take in account for?
You talking to me?
Yeah, like what are
All right.
some of
Well,
the surprises that you uncover that shouldn't be surprises to people?
so my first surprise is when someone says, it's going to be an easy job. And I'm like, dude, you're not inside the wall. Like, you don't know that information. You're making it up as you go along. So my biggest surprise is water and wood. They're not friends.
Hmm.
They're actually enemies. And if there is water and wood together, it's gonna be messed up, especially if you haven't seen it for a long time. Um, Dude, a lot of the times, just like let's just start over. Or why would a person want to just do it the cheap way? And it's fine, but I'm most surprised at the person that owns the job that's saying, um, uh, just just setting the bar. How are we
Hmm.
going to do this? It's your energy, man. I'm going to feed off of your energy, and they don't really set a tone. And then
Right.
I'm not going to say I'm wealthy, but I'm wealthy enough to say I just don't want to work for a person like that. And it's like
Yeah.
I have choices.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to just building your pipeline and building your client bench. If you get somebody that is not pleasant, you have the luxury. It's living out of a plentiful mindset as opposed to a scarcity mindset, right?
Dude, I've had people, my clients, they have saved my life in the winters when a lot of people are just like, I just don't want to do very much. Dude, some my clients, two or three of them have saved me. And it's like, I'm loyal to you forever, bro. Whatever you need. I'll do free
Hmm.
stuff all the time.
Yeah,
Little doors messed up. I got you.
that's
Forget it.
good.
Free.
So water damage, you mentioned water damage. What are some other common items that pop up that people aren't expecting?
Oh, probably flushing crap down the toilet is it's just there's always crap. It's unbelievable. I have four active rentals and all of them have wives or girlfriends or sisters, and they all have beautiful hair. It's just so much of it, and it goes in all my pipes, and it clogs all of my pipes, and I have to show up and go, listen, I just got to educate you on hair and how it goes down. So I put it in the lease agreements that they have to have something to catch in all of the drains. And then my life is a lot easier after all that. But in the beginning, I was just like, just live, man. Just enjoy it. Enjoy your time. I didn't know about prevention, and if it messes up, I'll come up, that kind of thing. And
As,
yeah,
as a
it's
girl dad, I gave up that fight years ago, man.
just hair everywhere, hair. And honestly, it's like butter and oil going down the sink. That junk adds up. You don't know
Yeah.
it, but that adds up.
Yeah, people pouring bacon grease down the drain can be
Yeah,
catastrophic for a plumbing
yeah.
system. Yeah, absolutely. Did you have anything else, Albert?
No, no. I mean, I like that. I think sometimes too is, we go ahead and add some of those things as well. When something happens, especially if you're a new investor and you get your first rental and maybe it's the first turnover, your renters have been there for a while, or they haven't really complained about the water's not really draining that well in the tub, but then
Hmm.
they move out and you notice like, oh, this water is not draining that well in the tub, right? And you get your drain cleaner, you get all the hair out, and then I just go ahead and pop in that drain catch, you know, ahead of time. Just like, hey, it's here, it needs to stay there, right? And we also put things too in Scott, like we do the same thing with lease in our leases. We do scope all of our lines, from the kitchen and the sewer lines prior to like spinning up a rental. Like we just go ahead and do it. We want to make sure we don't have any
Hmm.
Smart.
problems. And so now we have proof too. Hey, here was the condition of this drain line before you moved in. So we put that in our lease as well. It's like, hey, no pouring grease and
Yeah.
things like that down the drain. If we have problems, you're gonna be responsible for those
It's like a
repairs.
$75 investment, or some guys will do it for 125 bucks or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But it's worth
Good
it.
investment. A good
Yeah.
investment.
Mhm.
So, Scott, from a contractor's perspective, what are like two or three important things that investors should have ready before they even start looking for a contractor?
Ooh. So definitely vision is my number one. I need to land on your platform. So you're going to have to build your idea. The platform is an idea. You just formulate your idea,
Hmm.
and the more thought out you have it, it's just going to be a lot smoother for everybody. So please have a vision. Just have a vision. And the other one is have a budget. And I don't mean like a specific number. Like tell me what you're willing to do. Because some people, they're like, I want the best. I want the best deck. Build me the best deck ever. And I'm like, yeah, frick yeah, dude. I mean, I will punch those numbers up and we'll get you Trex and I'll build it like earthquake proof or whatever. And I'm just really going to try hard.
Hmm.
And at the end, they're like, what the heck is this? Why is it so expensive? Like, bro, in the beginning, you said you wanted it hardcore. So just give me your budget. And that was like towards my beginning.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I had to threaten legal litigation against that instance. And they were like, oh, we're really sorry. We'll pay everything. And I'm like, yes, you will. Please just don't do this to me. Uh, so they were willing to take it out of my wallet when they were the ones that set me up for failure. And I was like, oh, I ain't failing you. This is
So did you
way
give them
for
a
me.
bid, or like when did they get the
Yeah,
sticker shock?
totally did. Sticker shock is when in the 20% done kind of thing,
Hmm.
they were like, we want Trex. We want the best deck board. And I was like, ah,
Oh,
cool. I mean, cool. That's fine. And then I showed them, I think I gave them 3 opportunities. First one, this is going to be expensive. Like, this is expensive board. It'll last forever, but this is expensive. So I got an approval the first one. I think it was like a $280 buy of some material. And then I had to go back a day later and I was like, I actually need a lot more of this stuff. And like, okay, that's fine. It was like $300 more stuff. And then one final, like, are you sure you're cool with this? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then husband came home and they talked about the numbers. I'm like, this is way over. I'm like, did you give me approval? I've got you on text. You approved everything. I don't understand. I don't get it. So that was a really weird conflict that I had to solve with, my apologies, a type of stern aggression. Like, you're not going to do this to me. Please don't do this to me. So just have a budget. Budget's very important. Does that make sense? Any questions?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I hate to say the word aggression. There's no aggression in there, but it was just like, dude, you're not, please don't screw me
I
over.
prefer the word assertiveness.
Assertive. Yeah. Yeah.
Albert,
Yeah.
so you're coaching a lot of investors too. What are some mistakes you see new investors making when they're hiring contractors?
Well, I think that they make mistakes by not vetting the contractor properly, not asking and also checking references. We trained our investors to, get multiple bids, number one. And
Heck
then
yeah.
as you kind
Heck
of
yeah.
narrow those things down, ask for references,
Hmm.
actually check the references. So not only making phone calls, but we've gone out to job sites. We take a look at their, like, how clean they are. Do they work with a contract? Like, do they have a physical contract that, is outlined? Some handyman contractors don't use contracts. Unfortunately, a lot of people will get a referral from another investor, and that will be their reference. And
Yeah.
they'll just say, "Oh, this person did a great job for Joe. This contractor is going to do a great job for me
Yeah.
too." And it doesn't always work out that way. You just have different personalities now that are trying to act cohesively, and sometimes those things don't mesh well.
Yeah.
So, but I do see investors making that mistake by not getting multiple bids and not checking references.
Can
Like
can we can we
conflict of
unpack the
interest
whole
reference. Yeah.
the referral relationship? I think that's an aspect of this process that doesn't get enough attention. So, for instance, and I see Javier. What's up, Javier, on the call? If I send somebody, if I send a contractor, and this is where it pays off to have good contractors that you are in relationship, because in the beginning of your real estate investing journey, you may not have a contractor that you know, but eventually, ideally, you would become buddies with the people you're in business with, and you'll continue doing more business, and you won't need to, get 5 quotes for every single job for the rest of your life because you have guys that you're loyal to and that you're working with.
Right.
So when it comes to referring business, I think it's important for contractors to understand that they are being referred. So if you refer Scott, to me, not only are you're not just sending me a contractor, but you're actually he's representing you in some sense. Like your integrity is more or less on the line. Because if
Heck
you
yeah.
send Scott to me and he burns my house down, that's not going to look good on you, right? So I think there's it's important to note that if you're going to refer a contractor to somebody else, number one, follow up with that contractor, make sure that contractor makes you look good. And for contractors, keep that in mind also that you're also representing somebody that could potentially be referring you out to way more people. And it takes one bad job to ruin tons of potential business, right? The bad doing a bad job is way worse than doing 10 good jobs in a lot of ways. It's like reviews on Google. So
Solid.
okay, so let's talk about from the contractor's perspective, Scott. So, what are some things that a good contractor as yourself? What are you looking for in a client? You talked about clear communication. That's probably number one. Having a vision, respect for time. What else? Anything else that you think needs to be?
Uh, I definitely I think it's interesting that when someone works at a regular job and they're making an hourly wage, it's like, dude, you're on the clock. My value is this amount of money per time. But for me, it's like I do not like. Oh man, you're not gonna like this, but like free investments or like free time. It's really difficult for me to just do an entire day. I mean, I used to do an entire day of investments in estimates. So it's like a lot of people, they're not serious. They're just not like they're just throwing out there. Like you said, what'd you say? Three estimates, right? Well, two of those people are going to lose, or all three of them are going to lose because the person is just going to say, I changed my
Right.
mind. It's too expensive, whatever. But I love it when people have it in their mind, like, I just want one guy. I want the job. I
Hmm.
want you to do it. I love like an automatic trust. I love that. Like I was a pastor for 20 years. I love it when someone automatically trusts me because I'm an actual trustworthy
Yeah.
person. I would never steal from you. I'd never talk back to you or be
Hmm.
rude to you, especially behind your back. I would never do that. But it's hard to have to go through the process of earning your trust and then like just want you to know I'm not a bad guy and that kind of thing. I
Do you
love
ask?
automatic trust.
So if you get a call from somebody to come give you a bid and you've never worked with that person before, do you ask them if you're competing with other contractors?
That doesn't bother me at all. If you are, cool. Well, good for you, dude. I want you to get the best value for your dollar. And if you can get a better bid, bro, bless you. It's like I don't even feel bad about it at all. It's like you can get other bids, I'll give you a bid. It's cool. This is what I like to do. I like to say, we do everything as a handyman.
Hmm.
What do you need from me? Well, I'm looking to build a deck. Okay, so I'm a hustler, Austin. You probably know this about me. So
Hmm.
I'll say, hey, how are your gutters? Oh, they're real dirty. Okay, cool. How about we do this? How about I give you a bid on gutter cleaning? I'll clean your gutters out, and then I'll give you a bid on deck work. That way, everyone's time is honored. He gets a service. I get paid. It's like
Mm.
I'm not wasting a dime. I'm there
Hmm.
anyway. I'm going to do a small service for you. It's not a big deal. I'll even do something for you like for $20 just to get there to know that my time is valuable and I've done something to put gas in the tank or whatever. And then I win this deck job and I'm like, dude, all right, this is great. I mean,
Hmm.
we're all positive in the positive direction. Um, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's just I'm a hustler like that. Right? What can I do
Boom.
for you? You want me to wash your shoes? I'll do it. You know, is that what you need? Is that what you need?
What
That's
about
just me.
what about red flags? So what are some signs that you see in a potential client that makes you decide not to take the job? Because we've talked about that too, that not every job is something that you're going to want to take.
Well, I'm a hyper communicator and I'm also an extrovert. And I would say that I have a higher
Really?
EQ. So I thank you. You said a lot in a really just one word. Um, I just can see through people, in people, around people. I
Hmm.
like that. It's just my gifting, whatever you want to call it. But if you're broke, I'm gonna know about it pretty quickly, and I don't want you to be broke because my value is making some money for
Hmm.
me and my family. But if I get the sense that you're not going to carry me anywhere, like you got holes in your boat kind of thing,
Yeah.
I'll fix them holes. But if you ain't got no sandwiches to trade, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
going to
Right.
be hard for me to be like, let's help each other out.
Hmm.
So if you're broke, I don't like that. I'll just get a sense that you're probably a broke person. I have done dozens, if not 80 free estimates for people that are looking for $10,000 worth of work
Yeah.
that have absolutely no intention of pulling the trigger on a dollar of that
Yeah.
work. So it's like, I'm clearly wasting my time. Hey, just what do you want to do? And then it's just quickly, sorry. It's just, you guys, I got another guy for you, you know?
Yeah. So do you do
My
that? Do you
long,
refer other contractors instead?
if I don't think it's going to go anywhere, I would never do that. If it's not going to go anywhere, I'm not going to waste everybody's time. Life is very short, and we all got to make a dollar.
I feel
So I'll
that.
just say, yeah, I just not interested. Have a nice day. Yeah, I'm just honest with them. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'll call you later. No, I'm just going to tell you I don't want to work with you directly to your face. It's crazy. People, it's like refreshing and sounds aggressive, but just being clear about communication. All right, that's my
Yeah.
first red flag is broke. And second is like I do not like it when clients badmouth their previous handyman or
Okay.
any blue collar worker.
That's a good point.
That is a huge, huge, huge red flag for me. Because guess what? It's not going to take very much for me to get into that category of the other guy, the previous guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on your previous guy list. I want to be your main guy. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So if you're talking crap about the guys that took care of you,
Hmm.
like you're not the kind of person I want to work for because you're just bad mouthing the people that were helping you.
That's good.
And I really don't like that. And you can absolutely expound on that if you want.
Yeah.
I know we've all had that experience, all of
Yeah.
us.
We all have. That is absolutely correct. And yeah, you're right. I have become the last guy in several contexts before, not just in real estate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Albert, in your experience, what does it really take to make a working relationship with a contractor successful?
I mean, I think one of the underlying themes of this whole call so far is communication,
Hmm.
right? Is having clear communication, whether you know what you're talking about or not, from an investor perspective, being a sponge, right? Being teachable, also willing to go out and look up things on your own too, and not necessarily just trusting the contractor's word as like the word of God.
Hmm.
Like, no, like go ask questions too in your group with your other investor friends, but having a clear communication, and then, you know, developing, and as you get better and more experience, developing like a scope of work,
Hmm.
that statement of work is okay, Scott, like these are the things that I'd like to do here in this kitchen. We're gonna do. I need to do these things, right? Can you do those? Scott's like, yeah, 100%, yes, great. We can do all those things. Okay, cool. These bathrooms need to do this, and this, and I need a painter, and I need a carpenter, and blah blah
Hmm.
blah. Scott's gonna say, I can do 90% of those things. The other 10%, I know a guy, or I just can't. I don't have the skills or the resources for that, but I can do 90%. Cool. See, that's clear communication from both sides, because
Yeah.
Scott's not
Yes.
saying, yes, I can do it all. He's just saying, I can do that up to this point, but then, you might have to get somebody else for that to finish that
Yeah.
off, right? But having that scope of work, because then that's going to help you too, and we'll talk about it later, is some communication at the end too. So, yeah.
So
But
in
an investor that has clear communication, and they'll develop this over time, as this scope of work, because we used to just have a word document that just said do these things really high level.
Mhm.
Now we have an Excel spreadsheet that's very, very detailed by room, by area, interior, exterior, all these
Yeah.
things. We include photos, tile patterns, like every we know the grout color, we know
Yeah.
everything that we're going to use
There you
on our
go.
projects.
Two things I would add to. So Scott, you brought up loyalty. I think one of the best ways to earn loyalty with an investor or a property owner, Javier is real good about this, but following up, and that's a principle that applies to all business. Just calling people back, saving people's contact information, and just periodically checking in with the homeowner or with the investor and saying, "Hey, I'm just checking in. Y'all have anything that needs to be done in the next month or 3 months, or do you know anybody?" There's been times where Javier would call me and ask that question. I just start thinking like, "Oh yeah, give so and so a call, or let me give you such and such number. I think they need something that needs to be done, or I won't be thinking about it, but it's just a way of staying on top of mind." Uh, Second thing I would bring up as far as the communication goes, thank you, Javier said 100%.
100%.
Yeah, he's very good at that. So, second thing, in my experience, and I remember being like, I understand the process now, but early in my real estate days and home ownership days, I never knew who was who. I would hire somebody to do the job, and then I would come back the next day, and there would be 10 strangers in my house. I understand who those people are now, but I don't know. So I think it's probably a good idea when possible for the general contractor. So if I hire you to be the general contractor, you're going to have somebody do the drywall, you're going to have somebody do the paint. You're going to have different people. Connect people together. Connect the property owner with the subs and explain, "Hey, this is so and so. He's doing my electric work." I think that's always kind of helpful, kind of helps everybody feel a little bit better about what's going
Connected.
on, especially when you have a bunch of strangers in your house, right? So we talked about communication. That's number one. Communication plan, building a great partnership. And Albert, you can chime in here too. Problem solving together.
Mhm.
Issues are going to come up. We know that they always come up. There's always going to be an issue. So, how can investors and contractors work together to solve problems without derailing the project? Oh, another quick tip for contractors: remember your tools.
Yeah.
Wait, did I leave some at your house? Is that where they went?
We used to have a contractor years ago that every time he came to a project, he was like, "Oh, I got to go back to the other side of Houston to grab my tools." I'm like, that don't make any sense, dude.
I know guys just like that. And I can, if I lose a tool, it's like losing a finger. It's like I'm attached to my tools.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It is what it is. Try not to lose it, but if my finger wasn't attached to my hand, I gotta tell you, I wouldn't have any fingers on my hand right now.
yeah. What else? Did you want to add anything else to that, Albert?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of, back to that question of how they can work together. Again, sounding like a broken record is just on repeat is being able to communicate to each other. I mean, I think when a contractor sees something like, for instance, like water and wood, where we were kind of talking about that before the call, and the soonest that's communicated to the investor, to the client, like, "Hey, we've got a problem." Sometimes the investor's like, "How much?" Right? That's their response is, "How much?" Right? I mean, because ultimately they do want to know, like, how much is this going to cost to fix? And me, I'm like, okay, what are my options? Right? Like, what do we have to do? Absolutely, like, for risk of safety and health, like, what has to be done to this to
Yeah,
fix that part? Right? And then there's like, okay, cool. Now, how do we make this look as good as we can make it look without, hiding anything? We want to make sure we disclose all that stuff too that we found that we fixed, right? So I'm really trying to get into the details. And I think
Hmm.
when you're communicating with a contractor that way, everyone feels part of the process and part of the solution. I think people feel heard and respected too, like for their opinions and their expertise on how to fix this problem when people can work together, on how to solve those problems and how to keep those things from derailing the project. It pays too, and as an investor, is part of your budget. You have contingencies,
Hmm.
right? Because you start opening up walls, and you're finding termite damage, you're finding wood rot, subfloors like all rotted out, and you're not really seeing that when you're walking the property. You're not allowed to pull all that
Right.
stuff back,
Yeah.
right?
You
You have
automatically
those
got to assume it's going to
contingencies.
be 20% more.
Right. You have those contingencies. And then as you build this experience, like working with Scott, he knows, like, okay, cool. If something comes up, I know I'm not off the job. Like, I'm working with this investor on 2 or 3 projects now. We're going to be able to solve these problems,
yeah. If
So
I'm working for you a lot, I literally I'm going to be more loyal to you the more I work with you. And I got tricks up my sleeve, man. Like you just talked about termites damage, bro. You know you can live with so much termite damage. You
yeah.
can have a ton of termite damage, and it doesn't affect the overall value of the home. Now, if we cover it up, obviously that is a cover up, but a lot of it, it's just it's visceral damage, where it's
Mhm.
just like a visceral fat is. It's just like the extra stuff we don't like. A lot of it's just it's easy access termite. It's not killing the overall value of the home deep down, and a lot of it can be pulled in and out. But it's like I don't have $1,200 to do this board, which I have to take
Hmm.
several of the whatever bottom boards out. You can live with a lot of termite damage. It's kind of weird. I mean, I've covered
Yeah.
up a lot of termite damage over the years, but I have them. I have the properties inspected before we do that. And like, dude, what do you think of this? And they're like, it's not a big deal. Some inspectors, they see it and they're like, oh my God, your house is destroyed. That's never happened to me in one of my houses. But I
Yeah.
know that it's just a matter of perspective. Some of it's not that big a deal. It's
No,
okay.
some property buyers will see termite damage and they think it's the end of the world, and they'll
It's
like
the end. Yep.
they don't
I
want to
don't
have
want to get
anything
involved.
to do with the house, and it's a nightmare. That's why it's important. If you're going to be selling the house, just go ahead and address the issue beforehand, because
Yeah.
if you're going to hire me to sell that house, now I have to have that conversation with every single person that is
Mhm.
interested in the house. I have to tell them why the termite damage is not that big of a deal. And that really doesn't make
Yeah.
me look good as an agent to have that conversation. Right. So two things to keep that, put everything in writing. So I've
Smart.
always said this, as an investor and an agent, one red flag for a contractor is if they refuse to itemize the bid.
Mhm.
That I don't know
Yeah.
why there's so many contractors out there that are just like, oh, I'm just going to quote you for $20,000. I'm like, well, how'd you come up with that number? Well, you needed
Well,
all these.
who else is going to pay for breakfast, Austin? All
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
We want you to pay for it, but we don't want you to know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kidding.
Exactly. The other thing that I think is important to get in writing, even if it's just a text, is just a timeline. So that's another red flag for contractors. If a contractor can't give you a basic timeline, like demo will be done by day 7 or by day 10, and then carpet's going to be flooring will be installed by day 20, or if as long as there's a timeline, that way if you're way behind time, I'll have a reason to question, or to say something, or which leads me to my next question for you, Scott. As a contractor, what are some reasons why contractors are behind their timelines? Because this happens a lot, and we've had some deals really not end up that great because things took way too long.
Um, Number one, the complications of newbies or beginners pretending to be long-term servicemen. So I've been fixing things for 25 years. So nobody ever asks me, like, how long have you been doing this? I don't think anyone I really have ever asked me, how long have you been fixing things? And
Hmm.
I'll tell them, roofs. Oh, I've been fixing roofs for 7 years. Or toilets. I've been doing toilets for 11 years or whatever. When I was a pastor, I hated just paying contractors to fix stuff, and then I wouldn't know anything. So for a solid 9 years, I was like, listen, we'll pay somebody for stuff, but I want to be there. I want to learn, and you're going to teach me. So I'll give you the bid and the job, but you're going to teach me how to do it. I had this education from uh, welders, plumbers, everything, electrical. But if you don't know that, some people don't have the luxury of having a 11, 15-year beginner's education from several different people. I mean, that's a really valuable service. Some of these people, they're like mowing lawns, and then someone let them fix one roof thing,
Hmm.
and then you meet them. That's when you meet them, is you're the first job. And then
Yeah. Yep.
you don't ask, how many roofs have you fixed? I've done like one last week, and we're going to do a real good job on your roof, sir. I'm like, okay, all right. My expectations are so clear. I'm going to have to watch you. You're probably cheap, but I'm going to have to watch you and ask,
Hmm.
why are you doing that? Do you even know why you're doing it? So, yeah, that's the big one is, uh, dang it, I forget your question, but it's a really good conversation about,
Delays, timeline
oh,
delays.
so delays, is the person a beginner? It's a beginner. It's usually a beginner problem. Two, for me, is every time I'm delayed, it's 100% weather or it's circumstantial.
Hmm.
If I have to hold a, 400-pound beam or whatever, I need a second person. And if his wife is having a baby, I'm gonna go into the street and figure it out. But sometimes it's just like I have to fire somebody, or it's just not my day.
Hmm.
But I won't tell them, oh, I just figure it out, and then it's seamless for the client or the customer. I don't give them my whole spiel of why it sucks. I just say, "Ooh, we've decided to start tomorrow," or yeah, it's usually circumstantial for
Yeah.
me. What's really weird? This can be really weird, but in the beginning, if you prepay me, it steals my motivation. Does that make sense when I say that?
Yeah.
When you prepay me, I am no longer motivated to work for you. It's really weird. And then I have to work through it. So that killed some of my stuff in the
So do you
beginning.
normally just take payment in installments throughout the
After,
project?
no, afterwards. I
So
prefer at
you
the end.
you cover the cost of all materials out of your pocket?
If we're over $3,000, yes, I actually will cover you $3,000. It's just my style.
Okay.
It proves trust. I'm on the line anyway. I can prove it in court, that I've lost this value, and it'll be easy to sue that person. So we all kind of know the game.
Okay.
But yeah, I have rarely asked for half payments kind of thing. But it's kind of cool. Some of my clients, they say, "Would you like half payment?" And I go, "Oh, frick. I mean, if you want to, I mean, of course, yeah." But it's not like if I don't know you, I will ask for
Yeah.
some money just because
Yeah.
I don't know you. I have to get into business with it. But
Got
my
it.
delays are typically, um, yeah, it's circumstantial for me. Weather always messes it up. Weather
Right.
it's usually a problem for me.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
We'll open the floor for questions if you have a question for Scott or you have any comments about the contractor slash investor relationship. Albert, do you have any tools that y'all use for tracking large projects? Because there's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to, you mentioned it earlier, was, getting that itemized bid, right? Where like, okay, here's the bathroom, and some people just put bathroom, right? It's going to be, 10 grand or whatever. Well, I want to know, like, how much is the tile install going to be? How much are the countertops going to be, the cabinets, and the plumbing, the soft plumbing, you
Hmm.
got to jackhammer into the slab to reroute things, right? All those details.
Yeah.
Start with your scope of work as the investor, goes to your contractor, and then they can take that and give you their itemized bid, because they're
Yeah.
basically just gonna start to summarize some of your things, right? Make it a little bit more concise, right? And then you have this itemized bid, and then from that you can work together on like a draw schedule.
Hmm.
Scott doesn't like to be paid up front, which is great. We have contracts that are 150 grand, 180 grand, like remodels, right? Really big things, or these new construction projects. So we have a draw schedule that's now tied to that itemized bid. And basically that says, hey, I don't get paid until all of these things are done specifically,
Right.
right? And then you've got draw schedule. You can draw one, two, three, however many, right? So then that keeps everybody accountable. Number one, you don't want to overpay, right? You don't want to pay for work that hasn't been completed yet.
Yeah.
That's in our 10 commandments of managing contractors. And two, as a contractor, it's not fair for you to go ask for the tile install, and you just got your wet stuff up or whatever it is
Hmm.
called,
Hmm.
right? Like, I don't even know that much about installing tile, but you know what I mean? So that's how we keep these projects, at least manage them, and we know that they're
Yeah.
moving at the pace that, because those draw schedules also have dates associated with those. Hey, and these are estimates, right? We, like Scott said, weather delays, somebody gets hit by a car, somebody's mom died, whatever. You try to have a backup, a bench of people you can call on, but sometimes you don't. So we have dates too. Say we are going to be done with phase one, this
Hmm.
first draw schedule by this date, and we're going to try to, have this cadence where we can get it done within 3 to 6 months, whatever. So
Absolutely.
those are the things that we use on our projects to try to keep everybody on track.
Perfect. Scott,
I
any
think you're
final
right.
words?
Oh, about itemized listing,
Yeah.
dude. As a contractor, it's so weird, but I feel it is an opportunity for me to make just a little more money if you
Sure.
just say, hey, the bid is 12 grand, which is like a normal bid for me for this or that. And then I'll say, okay, well, how could I maximize, my profit? Because I could do some things, but if I itemize it and tell you this is $185, this is 390, this is 1500,
Hmm.
and then that's just like I don't have any slip room, and my labor is 7,000, and the rest of it, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
then it doesn't bother me. Your itemized list is a guarantee that you're probably not going to get ripped off in any sort of
Yeah.
sense. I mean,
Right.
slippery slope is $200 to $500. I mean,
I've worked
that's
with contractors though too. They'll find pockets, right? And that's fine, right? I mean,
it's
they're
because we're
not.
hustlers. We're
Yeah, I
hustlers,
mean,
man.
and they're not trying to like pull one over on me,
Yeah,
right? I mean, maybe they just misjudged their estimate for, sheetrock or well, sheetrock's pretty stable, but like lumber or whatever else, right? They had to
Hmm.
pay a little bit
yeah,
more for those materials, So then you start to figure out like, okay, I need to shift, tweak my labor a little bit
Yeah.
here or there, right? Or you find opportunities, right, while you're on the job.
yeah,
Hey,
dude.
by the way, this thing over here that might cost $200 or $300, well, I might charge them $200 or $300 extra because I kind of misjudged some of these things there. And then the
Yeah,
grand scheme of a $17,000 project,
not a
it's
big
not
deal.
a big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah, but it'll add up.
Yeah,
This is
I
kind
know
of
it
weird.
does.
I'll do an entire house of insulation, right? I'll remove the whole ceiling, doing the whole insulation. I will accidentally buy 3 or 4 or 5 extra rolls of insulation. Now I have a choice. I'm an opportunist, so the choice is I can keep this insulation, and then at the next job, I will charge my customer for that insulation, and then I have made more profit than I would typically. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but that's just an option that someone may do, or I'll just return the insulation and then take the money off the top or pocket the cash. It's just like there's lots of options depending on the type of individual you've hired. Me, I'm above board kind of person. I want you to be happy, and your happiness is my barometer of whether or not this is going good. So I check in with my customer all the time. Are you like,
Hmm.
do you like this? Do you like how it's going? Tell me what you think, blah, blah, blah. My
Yeah.
last customer last week, I built a whole deck. Dude, we're drinking beer. We're all just drinking beer. He brought a bunch of beers out, and everyone's just drinking beer and having a good time with my client.
Nice.
Retired guy, didn't have a lot going on. He was just so happy that a bunch of guys were just like, hey, woo. I had one beer, by the way. Okay. Middle of the day, one beer. It's crazy.
No, no judgment. Are you watching the new King of the Hill? You get 5 bananas.
I haven't seen it. No, it looks good.
You need to
Five,
go watch
okay.
it. 5 bananas.
I'll check it out.
Scott, thank you so much for joining us. Albert, my brother, Scott, my brother. Thank you for everyone who's on the call. I see you. Richard, Javier, Kevin was here, Tatiana was here. Thanks for jumping on. This will be posted on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Austin from Houston 12. Go follow Albert. Albert posts very, very encouraging. There's Rick. Thank you, Rick. Encouraging. Follow Albert's progress and his journey and his fun life that he posts about. Sorry, I missed the run on Saturday. I was too busy sleeping.
That's all
So
right. I almost died, but you missed it.
not again.
Yeah.
Scott, be blessed, brother. We'll talk soon. And for everyone out there, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.